And I think we're live. I'm so happy to be with you today. I'm going to invite you to stand as you're able to join me in our opening song. I'm going to do this little intro here, and you'll get your part in just a moment, and you will see the words on the screen, I hope. There was a time in my life, thought I had to do it all for myself. I didn't know that the grace of God was sufficient. I didn't know the love of God was at hand. But now I can say, if you are discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day, you gotta let it go. You gotta let it all go. And this is what you have to say. I release and I let go. Let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Oh, I release and I let go. Let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free, free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. Let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see that light. I am free, free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Oh, I am free in the Spirit. And if you want to get free, you have to find your yes. Let me hear you say yes. Yes. Yes, I'm only here for God.
Wow. Yes, we have with us this morning, in case you don't know, Reverend Michael Gott. Yes. And for those of you watching at home and in this room, he is the composer of that song.
No, I didn't write that. That's Ricky Byers and Michael.
Oh, is it Ricky? Oh my God, I thought that one, which one?
I can take credit for it.
Yes. He is going to be performing his music as well as throughout the service, and he is going to be giving us our message today, which is, it's just so exciting. We are looking forward to this. We've been waiting for the past 6 months, and he's visiting in Pittsburgh, and actually he's the minister of Unity of Houston, and was in Pittsburgh about 6 months ago, came and found Unity here and dropped by. And whoever was playing that day was playing a song that you had composed. That's what I'm thinking of. Might have been Ronnie, I can't remember exactly, but as it turned out, we invited him, please can you come back and play for us? So I'm just so grateful that you have come. Thank you. My name is Maryann Hackwroth. You probably already know that. And I just want to tell you what Unity is. For those of you who are brand new, perhaps a new face in the crowd who's never been to Unity before, Unity is a spiritual philosophy. It is a truth teaching that is quite ancient, but it's called New Thought. And I think it's new thought because it's a new way of looking at yourself and looking at life. and to understand that you are a divine being, first and foremost. You are the forward-moving physical expression of God energy. And you've come into this physical world to have this experience of life and to bring more of the truth of your being into existence. So I am so grateful to have this center and to be with you all here this morning. Let's move into an opening prayer. Deep breathing, just to ground ourselves in this moment of now. And just to know you are a divine expression, having this physical life experience. Divine Creator, we thank you. We are collectively joyful beings. We thank you for the life that we are and that we bring into the world. We feel the enthusiasm within our hearts. We smile into the knowing of what we are, who we are. We realize that the wisdom of the divine intelligence of God moves into our consciousness. So we align our minds with the divine mind, and we receive. We realize that we are only here for God. Thank you, Creator. We are grateful. Amen, and so it is. We like to start off in the morning with the announcements. And there are just a few, actually. Right now, we are having our book study, which is in its, 7th week. We have it on Thursday evenings from 6:30 to 8. And we are studying a book called Understanding Your Soul, The Channeled Wisdom of Jesus, written by a Unity of Buffalo member, Christine M. Bush. If you want to drop by, it is a fascinating book discussion group, and we are really expanding our awareness of what the soul is and what our soul is all about. So if you'd like to come on Thursday. We also have our dear friend Renee Jaluski right here in the front, waving her hand. She is a Reiki practitioner. If you're feeling like you could use some Reiki after service, please see Renee. She's always available to help. And also a good friend of ours, Doug Knuven. You probably know Doug. He comes once a month typically to give a message. He's a member of the ARE, Association for Research and Enlightenment. And this Saturday coming up, next Saturday I should say, is they're having Enlighten Up with Edgar Casey. And that is at the Beaver County YMCA, and he asked us to make that announcement for him. And while I was talking to Karen Lissinger right there this morning, she mentioned that she is already signed up to go, and she'd love to carpool in case anyone is interested. She's the driver. She is familiar with Beaver County, she told me. So thank you, Karen. I think that might be it right now for announcements. Is anyone here for the first time? We would like to just ask if you don't mind sharing your name or where you're from.
Here, Eric, we just moved to Pittsburgh about a year and a half ago. We've known Michael for a really long time. Really long time. And we came from Texas. We love it up here.
Awesome. Welcome. Very good. And I know, Walter, I met you, but if you'd like to introduce.
It's my second time. I'm Michael's farmer, so this is my second time here. And I love Pittsburgh.
Welcome, Walter. Thank you. Thank you for coming back to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is a very friendly community, so I hope you feel that vibe. Is there anybody else who is here for the first time that I'm missing? I don't want to miss anyone. Okay, well, let's rise and stand and greet one another. right, everyone. Please feel free to take your seats. And after service, we have coffee and tea in the hallway. If you'd like to stay for more conversation, we would really love to talk with you and get to know you better. We know the truth of your being, and then we get to meet your personality even more. So that's the beauty of being a human. I'd like to light this Christ candle. We light a single candle each and every Sunday as a reminder of the divine nature that we all are and the fact that we are one with each other. And as we light this candle, we remember that this Christed nature, the Christ consciousness exists within us each and every moment. So let us do this affirmation together that is on the screen 3 times. The Christ in me is awakened now. The Christ in me is awakened now. The Christ in me is awakened now. Yes. We have a vision and a mission statement. These were created by the members of Unity Center of Pittsburgh. I would love it if we could read these together now and really move into the truth and the flow of these words, of these ideas that are coming to fruition. We envision a spiritually awakened world flowing with divine love. We are an inclusive, loving, growing community dedicated to teach, inspire, and practice positive spiritual living.
This is a song written for our community in Houston, but I feel the same truth here. There's a light that shines in this room. There's a presence I can feel in this place. There's a spirit moving through us, alive in every face. It's the very light of God. There's a light that shines in this room. And we live and move in its glow. In this moment there's a oneness, the truth of who we are. We are the light, the very light of God. It's the very light of God. There's a light that shines in this room, and we live and move in its glow. In this moment, there's a oneness, the truth of who we are. We are the light, the very light of God. We are that light, the very light of God.
I'd like to invite our friend Tim Pierce to come up and share with us today's daily word, inner peace.
Thank you, Maryann. I'm Tim Pierce with today's daily word. Today's daily word is inner peace. Secure in the presence of God, I am peaceful and strong. I find comfort in knowing I am never alone because God is always with me and within me. Whatever I am called to face, I have inner resources to handle it peacefully. Peace dwells in the silence of my soul. When I feel troubled, I turn within. I breathe deeply and picture a peaceful setting, a trickling stream, the wind gently rustling in the leaves, or the soft flicker of candlelight. I let tranquility sink deep into my heart. As I leave the quietness of prayer, I take peace with me. I am ready to face the day. As a peaceful person, I know, oops, I lost my place. As a peaceful person, I know that peace is my very nature. Harmony is my purpose and my goal. I seek serene people, places, and experiences. My soul feels at home everywhere as the peace of my heart flows outward to bless everyone it touches. Our Bible verse comes from 2 Peter. May grace and peace be yours in abundance in the knowledge of God and of Jesus our Lord. And if you would join me 3 times in saying our affirmation, please join me 3 times. Secure in the presence of God, I am peaceful and strong. Secure in the presence of God, I am peaceful and strong. Secure in the presence of God, I am peaceful and strong. All right, go out and be peaceful.
Well done. Well done. Oh, let's move into our prayerful intentions. You may have noticed in the row where you're seated, there are small little slips of green paper that we call those our prayer slips. But basically, it is there for you in case you would like to write down anything, any situation, any concern that has been on your mind or has been troubling you, and place the intention for God's healing to move into that situation, to resolve it. This is a time that we come together as a community to pray. We uplift our mind into the mind of God, into this divine mind, which contains within it all the divine ideas, the wisdom, the intelligence, the creativity, the imagination that we have to take hold of divine love, forgiveness, compassion, healing. We have the capacity within us to pray affirmatively, to allow this flow to come into our own life experiences, to our own consciousness. So as you're writing, perhaps we just move into song.
In this place, I remember who I am, letting fear and worry fall away from me. I open my eyes and see there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. There is is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love.
We're aware in the now moment that there is only love. We realize that on this physical plane, things unfold in ways that we cannot possibly understand with our human understanding. But we know that there is only love, only God, only one power and one presence. And this power and presence is moving into every expression, into everything that is unfolding. And we affirm and uplift it to the highest good. Amen. So it is. Let us move into our meditation now. Taking yourself into a place of deep relaxation, I ask if you would like to unfold your hands or your legs and just allow your palms to be open. And just breathe in deeply into this moment, this eternal moment of now. And taking a nice inhalation. Envision, if you will, the inhalation of this light and love moving into your body. Breathe it in deeply. Feel this light and this love moving through you, moving into your hands. Just be aware of that. Breathe it in. Breathe in the love. There is only love. I am love. As you exhale, envision this love moving from you outward into this space, into this world. And breathing in again. There is only love. And breathing out. I am love. There is only love. And I am love. Continuing this breathing, noticing. There is only love. And I am love. And we will sit in the silence now for the next minute, sharing the love that we are. as you prepare now to open your eyes again into this space, into this room, feeling refreshed, invigorated, and fully aware, you are only love. You are the love of God.
It's like the air around me. It's like the sunlight on my face. I feel the love of God surround me. I'm touched by amazing grace. And all I've ever wanted and all I've ever needed was already there. Closer than the sunlight, nearer than the air. I breathe in. I am filled with the Spirit. It is health to my body. It is peace to my mind. It is joy, joy to my soul. And I breathe out this simple prayer of thank you. And my breath becomes a song that we're singing all along, that is singing everywhere, nearer than the air. I breathe in, and I am filled with the Spirit. Health to this body, it is peace to this mind, it is joy, it is joy, it is joy, joy to my soul. And I breathe out my simple prayer, thank you. And my breath becomes a song that we're singing all along, that is singing everywhere. And it's nearer, nearer than the air. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm so honored and pleased to be with you this morning. And I don't call it a lesson or a sermon. I call it a message. That this is just something that's in my heart that I think that I need to hear, and you're welcome to eavesdrop on the conversation I now have with myself. I like to start with a joke. I know it's rather formulaic, but it kind of works, so I just keep doing it. A friend of mine was a Methodist minister, and he was trained in seminary in the 80s, and he said they were always told you need a joke, 3 points, and a poem. I don't have a poem, but I have a joke and 3 points. This is a Methodist joke. Anybody else ever attend Methodist church? I grew up kind of Methodist and Pentecostal, so kind of interesting. But there was this small Methodist church, they were having trouble with money, and so the pastor one day got an ingenious idea. He said, whoever can write the largest check today will get to pick the hymns we sing. And they kind of did a little bidding war, and finally this little sweet church mother in the back row said, I'm going to write a check for $10,000 if I get to pick the hymns. And everybody said, okay, you get it. So she came up and wrote her check. She said, well, the pastor said, well, now, please tell your hymn, pick the hymns you want. She said, I'll take him, and him. Right? It's about the language we use and the imprecision of it. All language is abstraction. All language is metaphor. I grew up in a fundamentalist Christian teaching, which I was told these words are the truth. And I was sure that Jesus spoke King James English when he walked the earth, because that's what I was taught. As I kind of deconstructed that way of thinking in my late teens and early 20s, and then I found this teaching. Actually, it found me. I was minding my own business, singing in a gay piano bar in Dallas, Texas, and this gentleman comes in. There's nobody there, and he's tipping. He's asking for requests, and I thought on the break he came over to talk to me. I thought he's going to ask me out, and instead he asked me to come sing at his church, and that's how I found Unity. It actually wasn't Unity, it was Centers for Spiritual Living, our sibling in the New Thought world. And that's where I began to get a different way of understanding reality about God and life. And so it has been a journey. That happened, 33 years ago when I was minding my business in that bar. That was the year I was 28. I also began a journey of recovery that same year from alcohol addiction. And both of these paths have been really important to me, and I have done both of them imperfectly, sometimes half-assedly. But I'm here to tell you that these two paths in my life, as I just made my intention to keep moving forward, everything that I've faced in my life, and there has been a lot of difficulty and a lot of joy and triumph, but I've been able to come through all of it growing. My message today, the title is Everything is Holy Now. Taken from a song by Peter Mayer, a wonderful UU musician from Minnesota. And I don't know if you know this, but Unity is a little bit of an outlier in the world of Christendom or Christianity because we are a non-dual teaching. Most of the Western religions, Judaism, Islam, and Christianity are predominantly dualistic, that there is a spiritual reality and there is a fallen reality or an earthly reality. And there's something called the hard problem of philosophy, that for millennia, people have tried to understand. There's the question, how do mind and matter interact? How does mind connect with matter? And so in dualism, there's no good answer for that, like how spirit and how consciousness and the material world relate. But we occupy this space called idealism, particularly emanation idealism, which we teach that the spiritual reality is the ultimate reality, and the material reality emanates from it. We're not alone in this teaching. We're in good company with the Eastern religions, Buddhism and Hinduism. They share this same idealistic worldview. A Course in Miracles has this same worldview, a way of understanding that everything is connected. Everything is part of a wholeness. And that word wholeness is the same word as holiness. So if the word holy or sacred brings up some old religious garbage, as a matter of fact, before we go any further, I'm going to use the word God, but you may not like it, and that's okay. Because the word has a lot of baggage. I once heard Terry Gross on her Fresh Air show. She interviewed a Unitarian Universalist minister, and they were talking. She said, the minister said, you know that moment when you're on a plane and the person next to you says, what do you do? She says, I dread that moment, or I used to. Because when I find out I'm a minister, they bring all this projection and all their history of ministers. And she said, so here's what I've come to do. When somebody says, I don't believe in God, I say, tell me about the God you don't believe in, because I bet I don't believe in him either. So what I want to offer at the beginning is the idea that holiness is the nature of reality. That does not mean we're just going to be a Pollyanna, ignore everything that doesn't look good or feel good. That's not the way this means. That the wholeness of who and what we are as expressions of reality is so whole that even the most broken parts of us remain. They don't touch the essential wholeness that we are. This is what we're talking about. And in time, I have seen this be true of my life. Being alcoholic, I thought would be the end of my possibility of having a good life, but it ended up being a doorway that opened something new. But I had to change my mind about what alcoholism meant. And now it has about the same, I have the same like sort of negative feeling about saying I'm an alcoholic as I do about saying my hair is thinning. It's not even a thing. It's just a part of who I am. I'm not worried about it. There's a verse in Romans 8:28, very famous, that all things work together for the good of them that love God and are called according to his purpose. And for me, the metaphysical interpretation of this is that if we are intending to move forward in spiritual reality, to be committed to living a life of our own innate wholeness, for me that is the same thing as loving God, then what happens is everything works together for our good. Even the diagnosis, even the divorce, even the financial setback, it's all an invitation to come further into your wholeness. Sometimes what happens in our very positive tradition is that people think, well, I'm going to go there, I'm going to start affirming, I'm going to manifest the 3 Ps that everybody's looking for, princes, palaces, and parking places. I'm going to get it all figured out. And then when something really tough comes up in their lives, they say, that doesn't work anyway. It didn't work. And what I would say is that you've quit before the miracle. Because what I've watched, and I've been in this teaching a long time, and I've witnessed people who have walked through the most difficult and painful experiences of life, still moving forward, still claiming their wholeness, still claiming the presence of Spirit in their lives, and come out on the other side shining like never before. This really, I'm going to go back to my 12-step tradition. This comes from the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous. The heading is, "The spiritual life is not a theory, we have to live it." If we are painstaking about this phase of our development, we will be amazed before we are halfway through. And here are what we call the promises. We are going to know a new freedom and a new happiness. We will not regret the past nor wish to shut the door on it. We will comprehend the word serenity, and we will know peace. No matter how far down the scale we have gone, we will see how our experience can benefit others. That feeling of uselessness and self-pity will disappear. We will lose interest in selfish things and gain interest in our fellow people. Self-seeking will slip away. Our whole attitude and outlook upon life will change. Fear of people and of economic insecurity will leave us. We will intuitively know how to handle situations which used to baffle us. And we will suddenly realize that God is doing for us what we could not do for ourselves. Now, whether you have an addiction or not, doesn't that sound great? It reminds me of the fruit of the Spirit from the Christian scriptures, that if we're intending to live a life to the best of our ability on a spiritual basis, it's not about the stuff that happens. It's not about the stuff we have or don't have. It's about a new way of being in relationship with reality. And that's really what we're talking about. So, that was my first point. Everything is fruitful. Everything is an invitation to greater wholeness. My second point, the problem with God. We're going to talk about this. Let's just go ahead and put it out there. Whatever God you don't believe in, I don't believe in him either. So many people, they don't like the word God because of the baggage of their religious background, and that they have a very human God, a God who gets angry at you if you do wrong, a God who's a little bit like Santa Claus, keeping a list of who's naughty and who's nice, and will reward you if you do good. So all these different versions of this divine being, but really we're just mostly projecting our humanity onto it. And so I don't know, probably 25 years ago, I stopped using masculine pronouns for God. I don't have any problem with the traditions that still use those. I know in Unity we sometimes say Father, Mother God. That's a beautiful way. I mean, when I first heard that, I thought these people are crazy. God's a man, don't they know? And now pronouns are controversial these days, but it was in my teaching in Science of Mind that I began to understand that there is a part of the divine that is impartial, that is just simply the presence and the principle. And all of this human judging thing, I just made that up. Actually, I didn't make it up. People gave it to me who had made it up a long time ago. I was seeing this concept we would call God or the divine as through a human and cultural lens. Religion has a lot of problems. A little bit later, my third point, which is going to be about cheerful expectancy, I want to talk about that sometimes religion does us a great disservice in humanity because it tells us who it's okay to hate. And that is never the purpose of a spiritual tradition. We'll come back to that. So there are two basic problems with the word God. One is that we're bringing an old baggage, we're bringing an old limited idea of God that has a lot of sort of human characteristics. And the second is that we think we got it. We're in unity now. We got it all figured out. So we have the complete, full answer of what God is and isn't because we go to unity. Both of those are problems. Because if the divine is infinite, that means it has no edges. If the divine is infinite, we will never come to the end of knowing it. Father Richard Rohr, are you familiar with him? Beautiful, beautiful Catholic. He's somehow remained a priest in good standing in the Catholic Church, even though his teaching is so universal like ours. He was mentoring a young man, younger than me anyway, who was a teaching pastor at his father's large Southern Baptist church, Jonathan Merritt, I believe his name is, in Atlanta, megachurch. And he was outed as being gay, and it was a huge, controversy and just a horrible disruption in his own life. And somehow he found his way to Father Richard, who mentored him in finding a bigger God and finding a different way of understanding. And so he was giving him all this information about God as principle, God as this universal intelligence, the things we teach in unity. And Jonathan at one point said, but I love God. I want to know and have a relationship with God. And what you're telling me is that God is no longer knowable. And Father Richard smiled and shook his head and said, no, Jonathan, what I'm saying is not that God is not knowable. I'm telling you God is infinitely knowable. That the longer we remain on this path, we can know it more and more. And I had a very strong metaphysical teacher, Reverend Dr. Petra Weldis, who you all know very well, who kind of beat out that old personal God that I grew up with in the fundamentalist church. She's like, no, we're talking about principle. But I was able to come back to this very relational, loving experience of the divine, but it's no longer the God that was judging me. I have almost like the Sufis who talk about the God as the beloved. There's this presence I can't quite see or name, but I feel its loving energy. And I've had some really remarkable things, which I don't have time to get into today, that just show me that there is something in this universe that knows me and cares for me and meets me where I am. Ludwig Wittgenstein, that's a good one. His says this, the limits of my language means the limits of my world. So if we're going to use the word God, and many people don't, many people in our teaching have let it go and find another word, but all language is metaphor, all language is abstraction. I've chosen to keep that word and to not throw the baby out with the bathwater. But just know anything I say about God, I'm not talking about the God that did you wrong. So I want to share a little bit about my story, and then I want to talk about a couple of beautiful stories. My story, as I mentioned, I grew up in this fundamentalist faith, and the two worst things you could be in that world were gay and alcoholic, and check. It's like, and I was the golden child. I began, playing piano and singing in churches when I was 12 years old. I went to Oral Roberts University. I don't know if you know that. It's a very, very conservative religious school. There's a beautiful bronze 40-foot sculpture of bronze hands in prayer. The joke was that they used to be open in prayer to heaven, but then somebody threw a $20 bill up there. So I don't know if that's true or not. But Rob Bell, who was another evangelical minister who had an awakening to a larger spirituality, he does say that the best that we have, when we're going to talk about the infinite, is metaphor. So I want to tell a couple of stories from different traditions. Do you know the story of Demeter and Persephone from the Greek mythology? Demeter is a harvest goddess, a goddess of fertility, and her daughter Persephone, a beautiful, beautiful young goddess. And one day, Hades, the lord of the underworld, saw Persephone and kidnapped her and took her to the underworld. And while Demeter she was looking everywhere in the upper world for her daughter, and she could not find her, and she missed her daughter so much that everywhere her tears fell, the ground turned to stone. And finally, Zeus had enough of the starving people in the world and went to his brother Hades and said, hey, you've got to let her go. You've got to let Persephone come back to the earth so her mother will be restored to love and the things on earth can grow and the people can live. And Hades tricked her into eating 6 seeds of a pomegranate that grew in the underworld. And so what this meant that while Persephone was able to come back and be on the upper world with her mother, for 6 months of the year she had to return to the underworld. This is an origin of the seasons myth. I don't think any of that happened. But I think it was a way that the ancients were looking around this world that we inhabit and saying, how did this come to be? And I will tell you that Persephone myth has been such a salvation for me at times, because I'm a person who is very extroverted, very joyful, and very big and very bright, and I'm up here a lot. And sometimes I have to go under. Sometimes I need to go within. Sometimes I need to go away. I'm taking a 2-month sabbatical this summer away from my church in Houston so I can come to that underworld again where I'm not so much about this. I've gone through depression from different, not like clinical, but I've gone through those cycles, and I'm a Persephone. I need to spend time in both the upper and the underworlds. The next story I want to share is the generous father. This is a story of Jesus of Nazareth. You may know it as the prodigal son. I don't know if you know this story. Do you know what the word prodigal means? I thought it meant bad. It means like extravagant. A friend of mine, Dr. Jill Carroll, says we could easily teach this parable as the extravagant father, the prodigal father. 2 sons this father had. The second son came to him and said, I want my inheritance now. When Jesus told this story to first century Jewish people, this would have been like the most unthinkable thing a son could ever say to the parent. Basically, the son was going, I wish you were dead. I wish you were dead. But the father never responds in anger or withholding in this story. The father just says, yes, I will give it to you now. And so the younger son took his inheritance and he went to a far-off land. Then he wasted it on wine, women, and song. A friend of mine from AA, she used to say, I don't know about wine, women, and song. For me, it was men, whiskey, and Neiman Marcus. But you get the idea. Extravagant living, all about the sensual pleasures of this plane. And he lost all of his money, and then a great famine came upon the land, and he had nothing to eat, and so he went to a man who owned a herd of swine, and he offered to feed the swine so that he could at least put something in his stomach. And again, to the Jewish audience of the first century, as the lowest you could go. And for them, this would have made sense, that this kid did the unthinkable by demanding his inheritance when his father still lived, and he lost everything. He was punished by his actions, and he found himself in the lowest possible place. That's the end of the story. That's the way this works. He broke the law, and he received the just deserts of his actions. But that's not the end of the story, the way Jesus told it. When he was at his absolute rock bottom, he had the thought, even the servants in my father's household eat better than these pigs, or than I do. He wanted to eat what the pigs were eating. So he made a decision to go back and beg for a place as a servant in his father's household. My favorite part is the story. In the King James it says, while he was yet a long way off, the father saw him and came to him. And so before he could even get out his whole story about how wrong he was and how he wanted to just be a servant now and give me the lowest job, his father said, bring the finest robe, place a ring upon his finger. My son who was dead is back and alive. And he ordered a feast, and vegans, to kill the fatted calf. And then his younger brother, the older brother, was out in the fields working. He heard all the music and the celebration, and he asked what was going on. And a servant came out and said, your brother is home, and your dad has killed the fatted calf. Sorry, vegans. And we're having a wonderful party. And he got very resentful. And finally, his dad came out and said, why aren't you joining the party? Your brother's home. And he said, you've never given me anything, not even a goat that I could have a party with my friends. Goat. Anyway, and you know what the father said? Everything I have is yours. Ask. The point of this story is that we cannot give away our sonship, our inheritance of being, because it's who we are. There's no place to go but the divine. Everything we are is, everything that we do, everything we say, everything we experience is all contained within the life of God. But if we don't know it, we might be eating with the pigs. And so it's all about consciousness, coming back to this deep understanding of who we are. Now, the truth is, in that story, we are all 3 people. There's a part of our consciousness that is represented in each of those characters. And what we want to do is, as Henry Nouwen in his wonderful book on this parable says, we want to stay home with the Father. Stay home in our inheritance. Stay home in our consciousness that our needs are met. We have what we need. The last point, cheerful expectancy. This comes from Thomas Troward, an early writer in our movement in the 19th century. He said that our work is to simply create a mental space of cheerful expectancy. You know the story of one man comes into the stables, and there is just this huge pile of manure, and somebody is just digging through it, and then the man says, "What are you doing?" He said, "I know there's a pony in here somewhere." Have you ever had a time of life like that, where just this isn't right? But if we can have that cheerful expectancy, there's got to be something good in this for me. Eric Butterworth says, I found this last week. I was preparing for my Easter message at my church, and I knew I was missing a piece. I got up at 4 a.m. last Easter morning, last weekend, and I watched a 1979 Easter talk by Eric Butterworth, wonderful Unity minister at his church, Unity of New York, that met in Lincoln Center. And he said this, "My job is not to set it right. My job is to see it rightly." Can you say that after me? My job is not to set it right. Say that. My job is not to set it right. My job is to see it rightly. My job is to see it rightly. To begin to find those spiritual lenses again, to look through that way, that something good will come of this. Something good. The time that Eric gave that talk, it was 1979, as I mentioned. There was a crisis with Iran. There was an oil crisis. There was a fuel shortage. So many of us remember. I think most of us in here probably remember 1979. So you can see that we've done some weird circles, and we're kind of back in a weird place with all this uncertainty and conflict in the world. My job is not to set it right. I cannot solve the Iran conflict. I can't solve that. But can I see it rightly? Can I begin to understand that even through this, consciousness will be revealed? That somehow, some way, this is part of the evolution of God being revealed as humanity. And if I can hold that consciousness and see it rightly, then I'm creating that mental space of cheerful expectancy. The Buddha taught us that suffering is universal. And do you know what causes our suffering? Our attachment. Michael Beckwith says there are 4 kinds of pain in this world. I'll enumerate them for you. Resistance, 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 resistance. Byron Katie does this beautiful work on loving what is. When it doesn't go the way I want it to go, I'm in pain. But if I can begin to loosen that attachment and trust that this too will be revealed for my good, this too, whatever the setback is, whatever the problem is, there is a divine energy of creativity and becoming that will reveal itself to me if I can see it rightly, if I can let go of my iron grip on the forms that I thought it should take. Somehow that got me to Pittsburgh this morning. You know, it wasn't even on my radar. 2 years ago, there was something crazy going on in the world, and I thought, what other country can I move to? So watching YouTubes, and the algorithm sort of feeding me all these countries of places I can move, and I thought, I'm not going to move to another country. Someday I'm going to retire. I don't think I'll stay in Houston. Where should I go? Someplace maybe a little cooler, smaller city. Start looking at Portland and Seattle and all these places, Asheville, Nashville, Louisville. Pittsburgh came up, and there was something in my intuition that said, something there. And the algorithm picked on that, and it kept showing me all these wonderful videos about your city, and I knew people from here. So last summer, Walter and I were having our first vacation together as a couple, and I said, weird idea, but what do you think about going to Pittsburgh? And he was game. So we went to Philly, we came to Pittsburgh, and we both felt there's just something here that we love. And he said, I wasn't going to come to church. It was last July when we were here. But I came. He said, why don't we go check out Unity? And I met Maryann, I met some other folks here, I met Karen, I think, and Jan, we met, and I was invited to come and speak. We had a great time in Pittsburgh again. We went to the symphony Friday night. Just a beautiful city. I guess I just say that to say I'm not attached to my future like I used to be. I'm loving my present. And I trust that no matter what happens, I hope I get to come back again, to come be with you in Pittsburgh. I've kind of got a crush on Pittsburgh, I'll just tell you. I do. But I do, yeah. As I mentioned, religion really fails us when it tells us who it's okay for us to hate. In Unity, our teaching doesn't allow us that luxury or that ill-begotten luxury, because we believe that everyone is an expression of the divine, and particularly groups of people that are being singled out right now, we can't dehumanize or demonize them. So I always take a moment, if I can, to just say that Unity stands with the trans community, Unity stands with the immigrant community, and with all people. And that's not being political. That's just a call to our faith, that we don't have to agree with other groups of people, but we must see them as the divine. And when we begin to see that lens of holiness, the wholeness, and begin to see that that changes the way we describe reality, and that changes the way we experience reality, and that changes who we are, revealing more of that Christ within. Thank you very much. I think I'm over time. I'm going to go right over here and sing a song for you now, if that's okay. Oh, yeah, thank you. Thank you. Also, I didn't write this one, but I love it. Megan McDonough and Janice Stanfield wrote this beautiful song. Amazing, amazing, you will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing, you will do amazing things. You will do amazing things with the choice each new day brings, and with every step you take, bless the progress that you make. The reason you live is here in every gift you give. Love your life, love your dreams, you will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing, you will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing, you will do amazing things. Oh, the places you will go, like Pittsburgh, the people you will know. Don't worry when, where, or how. You don't need to know that now. You're on the right track. No need to look ahead or back. Just enjoy what this day brings, and you will do amazing things. You don't have to work it out. Just stay in the here and now. Let your mind rest for a little while. Sometimes deepest answers come when you're out there having fun. So close your eyes, take a breath, and smile. Amazing, amazing, you will do amazing things. Can you sing that with me? Amazing, amazing. And look at someone and say, you will do amazing things. Sing that again. Keep looking at someone and let them know. Amazing, amazing. Yeah, I mean you. You will do amazing things. You will. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. And you will do amazing things.
How amazing is it that we have Reverend Michael Gott today? I'm astounded. I am speechless almost at the synchronicities and the way that life lines up and what has guided you to Pittsburgh to visit. And we are blessed. We are prospered. Spirit prospers us in a myriad of infinite ways. And the relationships that we develop and the people that we meet and the ways that we're guided to do the things we do is God. It's the prosperity and the abundance of God. So at this point in our service is when we acknowledge that. We take our offering and we thank each and every one of you for joining us this morning online and here in this space to enhance the truth of these teachings by our prayer, by our music, by our sharing with one another. So I ask that you just bring into your consciousness the ways that you have prospered, the ways that God has brought abundance and prosperity into your life. And we say, thank you, God. Thank you for the gifts that are shared with us infinitely every day. We have a prayer that we share each and every Sunday. And I'd like us to recite it together. It's a prayer of gratitude. John usually puts it, there you are, John. Blessings to you, John. Thank you, John, for stepping up while Mac is out of town. So we are just prospered in so many ways. We are given so many gifts with so much joy. So let us recite our prayer of gratitude. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, and I am grateful. I ask our ushers to take our collection as we move into song.
Don't you think you owe it to yourself to look inside of you and take the time to realize what you are here to do? Don't you think the time has finally come to stand and face the fire, to walk into the blazing sun and claim your heart's desire? You were placed upon this earth with a mission to complete. Now the time has come, so stand up strong and claim your destiny. You must move in the direction of your dreams and act as if they've already come true. Even when there is no hope, or so it seems, just move in the direction of your dreams. Now don't you think that you're not good enough to be a shining star? Or do you think because the road looks tough that you can't get that far? Do you believe only some are great and others left for chance? Or maybe that it's just too late, a futile circumstance? No, you were placed upon this earth with a mission to complete, and the time has come to stand up strong and claim your destiny. You must move in the direction of your dreams and act as if they've already come true. Even when there is no hope, or so it seems, just move in the direction of your dreams. And when the world feels like it's crashing all around you, and the clouds of doubt are darkening your day, Well, just be still and know that there's something deep within you that will always, always know the way. You must move in the direction of your dreams and act as if they've already come true, even when there is no hope, or so it seems. You must move in the direction of your dreams. Move in the direction of your dreams. Thank you.
Thank you. We thank you so much for, we are moving in the direction of our dreams. At Unity Center of Pittsburgh, we affirm our growth and our continued ministry. And we want to thank everyone at home and everyone who has come today, and your generosity, which allows us to grow and expand and continue in this ever growing and important message. The truth, right? Sharing of this truth. So thank you from the bottom of our hearts. We have 5 unity principles, which I would like to have us read together. These are the foundational teachings of unity. They allow them to guide us on our path, on our journey. Together, God is the source and creator of all. There is no other enduring power. God is good and present everywhere. We are spiritual beings, created in God's image. The Spirit of God lives within each person. Therefore, all people are inherently good. We create our life experiences through our way of thinking. Through prayer and meditation, we increase our conscious contact with God, bringing forth love, wisdom, health, prosperity, and everything good. Knowledge of these spiritual principles is not enough. We must live them. Amen, and so we do. Let's get together for our final song, Now There Is Peace on Earth. Please rise if you'd like to grasp hands.
Yes, there is peace on earth, and now it begins with me. Yeah, there is peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Let me walk with my brother in perfect harmony. Yes, peace begins with me. That this is the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace, eternity. Let there is peace on earth, and as it begins with me.
The light of God surrounds me. I am light. The love of God enfolds me. I am love. The power of God protects me. I am power. The presence of God watches over me. I am presence. Wherever I am, God is, and all is well. Amen. Thank you all. We'll see you next week. Have a beautiful week.